Hi guys, it's Adam with WebStarts.com. I'm back again with a video today showing you how to select the right shipping options for your online store. Specifically today, I'll be covering the shipping options surrounding USPS. That stands for United States Postal Service. All right, before I get into the video though, I want you to tap that subscribe button and also ring the notification bell. That way you'll be the first to find out when I release a new video on web design, internet marketing, search engine optimization, and all kinds of tips and tricks about how to be successful with your business online, whether you're just creating a business to gather leads or sell products or whatever you're trying to accomplish with your website. All right, in this video, I'm going to be using WebStarts, of course. There are three main reasons why so many people choose to build their website with WebStarts. Number one is it's easy to use. It's drag and drop, so you don't need to know how to code. It is hosted in the cloud, so you never have to download or install any software. You just log in from any connected device. The number two reason why WebStarts is so popular is because it's 100% flexible, because it has that drag and drop capability. It allows you to create an original website that conveys the value of your products and your services. Number three is WebStarts is highly capable. It has a built-in complete store functionality, so you can build out a complete online store. You can capture lead data through forms. You can follow up through that lead data using the email marketing application. And there are really so many features and applications that are integrated into WebStarts. I can't possibly share all of them in this short video. Again, this video, we're going to just be focusing on shipping your products with USPS. And in order to do that, you're probably going to need to make a few business logistic decisions. And we're going to be discussing those in this video. All right. If you haven't already done so, sign up for a WebStarts account on webstarts.com. Just click Get Started. It's free. In the next step, you choose a design. You can choose a design by category, but all of these designs are 100% customizable and can be changed at any time. So you can't make a mistake on this step. If you're following along and you want to create an online store, you might want to take a look at the online store designs. Do keep in mind all of the designs, all of the templates that you see, regardless of whether they're in the online store category, can have this online store e-commerce capability added to it. So once you're ready, just select the design that you like and then fill out your name, email address, choose a password, and there's going to be a couple of other steps that I'm not going to cover right here. One is you're going to have to verify your information, and the other one is you're going to select a web address. And when it comes to selecting web address, select a free .webstarts.com address, or you can get a top-level domain name like your very own website.com. If you select the latter of those two, meaning your very own top-level domain, you'll need to upgrade to a paid subscription before that top-level domain name, like my very own website.com, begins resolving to your website. Anyway, you can learn more about that as you dive into WebStarts, but in this video, I'm going to log in to an existing WebStarts account that I already have, and it has a store set up with it. So I'm just going to go ahead and log in and show you how to begin making some selections that have to do with shipping using the United States Postal Service. So I've just selected one of the many websites that I've created using WebStarts, and now I'm waiting to log in. When you log into your WebStarts account, you'll be greeted by what's called the dashboard. That's something like what you're looking at here. In the dashboard view, you can find all of these application panels. These are all the application add-ons to help you manage the various applications that are integrated into your website. In today's video, we're going to be focusing on this store application right here. If you just want to get into editing the pages of your website, you would hover over the thumbnail and click Edit Site, and that opens up the page editor. You can also access the store from the page editor. So let me show you what that looks like. I click on Edit Site. I load up the page editor. I can select the various pages of my website that I'd like to edit from the dropdown up here. And I can edit any of the contents of the elements that appear on the page by double clicking on them, just like that. And of course, everything's drag and drop, so you can just move it wherever you want it to appear. You can use the arrow keys on your keyboard, or you can drag and drop with your mouse. If it's your first time using WebStarts, I do recommend checking out the Getting Started video that you should have noticed the first time that you log in. And you can find that, of course, in the help documentation right here. All right, let's take a look at the store modal. I can access the store modal from the editor view down here. All I need to do is just click Store, just like that. And then click Manage Store. Okay, this opens up the store modal, and here's where I can create my products and that sort of thing. But in this particular video, what I'm going to be doing, of course, is just setting up my shipping options using the United States Postal Service. Sorry about that little delay right there. I just accidentally clicked off my camera when I went to click on the shipping. So I'm just going to move this out of the way. I'm actually going to move over here. All right, clicking on the shipping tab, that opens up the shipping rules. Now you can add shipping rules by clicking Add Shipping Rule right here, but I have two shipping rules already set up. One is for domestic shipments, which happen to be in the United States, and the other one is for the rest of the world. Of course, you would set up the shipping rules depending on where you're shipping from and to. So for this demo, I'm going to be shipping from and to the United States, and I've already set that up as my domestic shipping rule, and now I'm going to actually edit that existing rule. If it's your first time in WebStarts, you'll have those two options set up, and you can edit them as well. Now, one of the big things that you want to take into consideration when it comes to shipping your products online is whether you want to charge for shipping at all. It's a well-known fact that if you can provide free shipping to your customers, you'll just eliminate that complexity of them having to consider the cost of shipping, and it will increase the conversion rate. In other words, more people will actually buy your products because they won't have to worry about the shipping cost. So I do recommend that you just select this free shipping option for the most part, and then you absorb the shipping cost into the price of the product that you're selling. That is just the best way to get people to click that buy button and complete checkout and place an order with your online store. Now, I do understand that a lot of people don't want to absorb the cost of shipping, and so they want to pass the cost along to the customer, especially when the cost is variable, because that makes it a little bit difficult to know how much to mark up your items. But again, I always recommend just charge enough that you know that you're clearing a profit. Maybe that's easier said than done. If you're selling a commodity, you want to be competitive with the next guy or whatever. But if you're selling something that's unique and it's not super easy for them to compare that price all over online, then generally free shipping is just going to work out. But since in this video, we're going to be covering the shipping options from the United States Postal Service, we're going to select those options from the drop-down menu. So here you can see USPS, says automatically calculated rates from USPS, so I select that option. The first thing I want to draw your attention to is this little link right here that says find the right USPS service. And I'm going to be covering in this video right here how you can determine what is the right USPS service for you, but you may want to do a little bit more investigating. And if that's the case, then click on this link so that you can learn more directly from the United States Postal Service. So you can see when I click on it, it gives me a rundown of all of the different services that they offer. All right, in the Add Services section, you're going to see 4 different types of service. First class mail, priority mail express, and retail ground. I'm going to try to give you a description of each one of these and an idea of whether it's a good solution for the products that you're shipping. All right, the first one is first class mail. First class mail is something that you're going to want to select if you're shipping a product or a package that weighs less than a pound and it doesn't need to get there super fast. Typically, first class mail is going to take 3 to 5 days, just the same way that you would send a letter through the mail. You can use either a small box or an envelope with first class mail. And generally speaking, the rates are going to be very affordable. You can also get tracking on first class mail. So once you ship your product, you can come over here, click on the orders tab, find a person's order, and then you can add the tracking information to their order. That will send them an email. That's just a feature of WebStarts, and that's a big benefit. All right. I navigated away there, so I'm going to get back to where I was. So first class mail, again, these are things that are small. They're less than a pound. They can fit in a small box or an envelope, and they don't need to get there faster than 5 days. All right. The next checkbox that you'll want to offer, and by the way, if you want to offer first class, just check the option. The next one is priority mail. Priority mail is a lot like first class, but it's really suitable for packages that are 1 to 5 pounds in weight, okay? And they typically get there in 2 to 3 days, and they too come with tracking and insurance. So if you have a fairly small box or envelope, and maybe you can fit a few items in there that weigh less than 5 pounds, then you can offer your customers the ability to get that package in as little as 2 to 3 days for a pretty affordable rate. It's a little bit more than first class, but it's a lot less than the next option that I'm going to be discussing, which is Priority Mail Express. Priority Mail Express is meant to be the United States Postal Service's overnight competitor. So for the most part, it's for shipping packages, small boxes and envelopes overnight, things that need to get there the next day. However, those packages should be less than 5 pounds. It can be more, but the cost really runs up once you get over 5 pounds. And one important thing to note is that Priority Mail Express is not a perfect overnight system. If you absolutely need to get something somewhere overnight, I recommend going with UPS or FedEx. They're just better at getting things there literally the next day. Some locations, depending on where you're sending to and where you're sending from, it might take up to 2 days with Priority Mail Express. But for the most part, if you're in a major metropolitan area and you get that item sent off in a timely manner, it's going to show up in another major metropolitan area the next day. So check that option if you want to give people the option to somewhat affordably get things overnight, which, by the way, is less expensive than UPS and FedEx, but it's still quite a bit more than Priority Mail, usually like 3 times more. All right, the final USPS shipping option that I'm going to be discussing is called Retail Ground. I personally find it very rare that you would want to send something via Retail Ground through the United States Postal Service, and there are a few reasons why. Number one is that this is a product designed to send a large box that can get there from anywhere to 2 to 8 days, which is a pretty big delivery range. So it doesn't give you a lot of control over when a customer can expect to receive the package. It also tends to be, the boxes tend to be taken care of not so great when compared to UPS and FedEx. Not that they do it perfect, but definitely the US mail is a little bit harder on the boxes than USPS. And then the other part is that it's just simply not that much less, if any less expensive than UPS ground. So if you have a big box and it's fairly heavy and you need to ship it and it's not in a hurry, I don't really recommend using USPS Retail Ground. You can select the box and make it available. Now, one thing I also want to note is that if you do make Retail Ground available and somebody is, let's say, less than 600 miles from your shipping or origination point, that person, when they put in their address, it's not going to show that as an option because USPS limits Retail Ground to what it calls zones 5 through 9. That basically means places that are more than 600 miles away from the shipping origination point. All right. The last thing you need to take into consideration is where you're shipping from. Make sure you enter a correct shipping from address into these fields. It doesn't need to be your whole address. It can just be city and country and the state, of course. When you're ready, click Update Shipping Rule. That's going to update the shipping rules. And then what you're going to do is take a look at what this looks like on your live website. So I'm going to go ahead, close this out, and then I'm going to go to my store. I've got this little case. Oh, one other thing you want to take into consideration, make sure that your products have shipping enabled. I'm not sure whether or not I have shipping enabled for that iPhone case because I created that in a previous demo. So I'm going to click on the products tab, go down here, and then I do have shipping enabled, and I entered a weight of 2 pounds. So I'm actually going to say that that's 0.75 pounds because I want to see the first class shipping option in this demo when I go to checkout. All right, I'm going to add it to my cart, and then I'm going to check out. And when I go to checkout, I'm going to enter in all of my customer information. So let me do that real quick. Okay, I entered my shipping information where I want my products shipped to, and now I'm ready to click continue. One side note here, this checkbox, you can check if you're a shopper and you want to save your shipping and billing information, you'd check that box and then select the password to create a returning customer login. That's a great way to get more conversions out of your store because then the person who bought things from you can just come back, log in with their email address and their password, and then not have to re-enter all of their shipping and billing information at checkout. I'm not doing that in this demo. I'm just clicking continue. I'm verifying that my shipping address is the same as the billing address I added above. And then here we get to our delivery methods, and you can see that I have first class is my least expensive option. And I'm sending this all the way across the country for the demo. So this gives you an idea of what it will cost. So if I do first class, that's going to be the cheapest. It's going to be 1 to 3 days and $5.75. It's going to be 1 to 3 days with priority and $9.60. And it's going to cost about $44 to send it overnight to 2 days, depending on whether it's in the right area. And then you can see why people do choose ground, because it would be cheap, but it would actually be more expensive than first class, which would get it there a lot faster. So you can see why that's rarely an option that you would use when setting up USPS shipping. Once you're ready, you just select the option you want. I want priority. You click continue, and then your customer, of course, will go on to enter their payment method and complete their order. And once they complete their order, you'll get a notification through email and text message, and you'll also get a push notification in WebStarts itself on the dashboard. And then you should find your orders under this order tab. Of course, I haven't made any orders in the store yet, but if you've done that, then the order information will be here, and there'll actually be a little icon you can click to add the tracking number, and then that tracking number will be sent over to your customer. All right, that is it for this video on how to set up USPS or United States Postal Service shipping options using your online store. If you want to create a free online store, go to webstarts.com, sign up and create it, and don't forget to tap subscribe and the notification bell to see more videos like this in the future. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.